past few years have seen a weak world economy and not much growth in terms of international trade. This has meant a difficult time for the Indian port sector, especially major government ports. On the other hand, the existing non-major ports, especially private ports, continue to grow due to factors such as a diversified cargo portfolio, superior operating efficiency and infrastructure, and the presence of captive cargo streams. One such successful private port is Krishnapatnam Port Company Limited, or KPCL. It was formed by winning a mandate from the government of Andhra Pradesh to develop an existing minor port into a modern, deep water and high productivity port on a build, operate, share, transfer concession basis for 50 years. The port was to be developed in 3 phases. The first phase of the port was completed in a record time of 18 months, and the port was dedicated to the nation on July 17, 2008. Krishnapatnam Port is promoted by the Hyderabad-based CVR Group that is well known in the infrastructure business. Navayuga Engineering Company Limited is the flagship entity of CVR Group and is the engineering procurement construction contractor for the Krishnapatnam Port.
Before we started this project, my chairman asked me to go around the world. I've been to China, European ports, and American ports. I've been around the world, in Indian ports also. And we, as a good construction company, as a mother company, Navayuga Engineering Company, we have very good experience in building. We build almost all ports in India as a contractor. So we have an idea about building a port. And what are the problems, where are they getting stuck, what are the issues. So the vision is obviously we looking at the location and the nature of the location and nature of the port. We felt this can become the India's largest port.
Long ago, probably 10 years ago, our chairman had a vision to build a state-of-the-art port on the east coast of India. That has started the journey. And from then we looked at building the port of international standards, which can cater to all the needs of various types of importers and exporters. And accordingly, we planned the infrastructure and built the port, looking into the future. Our port is always a port for the future.
The port is located in Nellore, the district headquarters of Andhra Pradesh, on National Highway 5 that connects Chennai with Kolkata. It is 26 kilometers from Venkatachalam, the nearest railhead on the Chennai-Kolkata main line. The port has easy access to the hinterland by road, rail and air. It is strategically located in close proximity to states like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and North Tamil Nadu. With modern facilities that ensure efficient operations in all areas, Krishnapatnam Port gives high load and discharge rates, leading to a faster turnaround for all types of vessels. The minimal waiting time also leads to almost no demurrage.
When you make a ship wait more than certain time and develops a lot of demurrage, how do you, like this demurrage, you just can't say, okay, he's poor guy, he's there, but he paid demurrage and he went off. No, it doesn't stop there. Moment a ship pays, suppose the demurrage won't be less than 2-3 crores. So whenever he wants to come to India, he will not accept India as a favorable destination first. Second is, he'll raise his price. So who's paying this price? Indians. So we're talking about economy here. This is what we are paying. Then how can you say that a port, an efficiency of a port is not required or not important? Efficiencies of the port are very important.
The port boasts 10 operational berths, including one dedicated to handling over-dimensional project cargo, which is already operational. Load-bearing capacity of this berth is 12 metric tons per square meter, the highest for any berth in any port in India. A deep draft of 18 meters alongside the berth and a breakwater sheltered harbour make it an ideal port of call for cape-size vessels. The port also has a huge transit storage area of 6,500 acres and dedicated storage yards for coal and clean cargoes respectively. There are 13 closed warehouses with a total covered area of 1.5 million square meters for storing sensitive cargoes like fertilizers, agri-commodities, etc. It is also well connected by a 24-kilometer double-line rail and 4-lane roads to the national grid, making for swift access and evacuation of containers and cargo. The rail infrastructure today has the capacity to handle 60 trains a day, much higher than the 15 to 16 rakes being currently handled.
From the gate, the railway line is completely ours. It's about 45 kilometers railway line we laid ourselves. So when we lay ourselves, then we exactly know where to take it and which is the nearest point. So the customer doesn't need to pay extra. So from the, like in our container, you'll see so unique. A container box can be taken out from the train. It doesn't need to store also. It can straight away go to the ship, or same vice versa. So how much money a customer is that's where we made all the logistics very smart way.
Once we had a clear idea where we are moving, we understood who are the key players in these lines, and then went and talked to them and started garnered partnerships. For example, we have signed an MOU with Concor so that container rail movement can happen as and when container movement start. Now there's a regular weekly service between Hyderabad and Krishnapatnam by Concor. Now we are also talking to them to start a regular service between Bangalore and Krishnapatnam. Similarly, we have good agreements with big customers like JSW, long-term agreements, AP Genco, then the power plants which are here, the edible oil plants which are here. We have long-term agreements. We support people to go into long-term agreements so that they have clarity, we have clarity on what kind of tariffs we are going to impose on them or collect from them, and then what kind of services we can offer, so that there is no confusion about what services are rendered at what cost. So because of this kind of understanding, most of customers are now going for long-term agreements with us. And that is helping the port also to grow, and that is clearly giving them a picture of the type of services they can expect from our port.
The port also has two industries located in close proximity. One is the thermal power plants and the other is edible oil refineries. Both these industries require large quantities of imported raw material, making them heavily dependent on the port.
I would use a smart as a very good important, like if we are talking about smart cities. Like that's how we developed this as a smart port. Smart port is nothing but good logistics. Try to get everything near so that you avoid double loading, you are double handling, all these things you can avoid.
As a country, we have certain imports and exports happening. So we don't create infrastructure and expect the exporter or importer to use that. We rather study the trend of imports and exports that are happening, and we understand the different infrastructural needs that are required for a particular commodity, and then build that infrastructure and ensure that we are there at the right time so that the importer or exporter use this infrastructure and to the betterment of their respective organizations and the betterment of the country.
In addition to this, a state-of-the-art all-weather container terminal is operational round the clock 365 days, handling the highest container volumes ever on the East Coast. It will add numerous strengths like maximum efficiency, minimum dwell time, and maximum safety, thus making it one of the finest and most modern ports in the world. Coming up, we will explore the unrivaled customer service being offered at the port with the help of the latest technology. The main reason why Krishnapatnam Port is one of the fastest growing seaports is due to its world-class infrastructure and its customer centricity. The entire port has been reverse engineered by anticipating customer preferences and demand.
We have always built up our port organization with customer as the center. You can easily say that this is the most customer-centric port, certainly in India, and one of the most customer-centric ports in the world. So we understand the needs of the customer, as I said, and we build infrastructure and we build processes around the needs of the customer.
To understand the efficiency of the port, let's see what happens when a container ship enters the port. The moment the ship is at the mouth of the port control center starts communicating with the ship's captain and ascertains basic details like port of origin, cargo, ship dimensions, etc.
If the ship has to come straight away for berthing, pilot and tugs they match time with the ship, and they meet the ship immediately upon arrival at the pilot boarding station at sea, and the pilot boards the vessel and brings the ship in, where the tugs meet en route, and the ship is brought to the berth immediately without any delays. So all the operations start.
The ship's gangplank is lowered and the customs officer boards and checks the ship's paperwork and whether the cargo being imported is in order. After being satisfied with the nature of cargo on the ship, the customs officer gives the go-ahead for it to be unloaded. Soon the unloading of cargo is underway.
Ship traffic at Krishnapatnam has been increasing continuously year by year as we are growing. This year it's been close to 950 ships, and the peak months are from July to January, where every month we handle about 80 to 90 vessels.
The main reason for more cargo being handled by the port is its ability to accommodate bigger vessels. This has been made possible by dredging the port to 18.5 meters, one of the deepest offered by any port in India. This enables the port to handle both Panamax and Cape vessels.
Because of having our own dredges, we were able to achieve the depths of 18.5 meter, which has resulted in India becoming a preferred destination for the Cape-size vessels. But Krishnapatnam itself, we have handled this year more than 110 Cape-size loaded vessels.
The port is capable of handling a wide variety of cargo for import and export. It has special mechanized cranes that can help in unloading and loading of cargo in record time. The major items handled by the port include coal, fertilizer, edible oil, granites and agri-commodities.
Today coal is going to be has already been the biggest commodity which the port is handling. Currently we are handling anything close to 28 million ton. Then second biggest is iron ore imports. Last year iron ore imports have started. We are handling close to 8 million. After that we have fertilizer close to 2 million. We have edible oil cargo which is 1.5 million. Then we have granite which may come up to 1.4, 1.5 million. We also have a lot of agri exports happening which can go up to 1 to 2 million. So and containers also. This year we are going to touch 1 lakh containers. So we are growing in every area.
Total revenue that is expected from Krishnapatnam Port, customs net revenue, for the year 14-15 would be around rupees 1900 crores. This is quite a big jump, as you know, when compared to last year. In the last financial year, 2013-14, our customs net revenue was around 970 crores. Compared to 970 crores, this 1950 crores has been nearly a big jump of around 96%.
Krishnapatnam Port Trade and Transport Terminal was inaugurated in early 2013. There is a port service center located within the facility to cater to the needs of any customer or logistics provider wanting to gain access into the port.
Our customers are really big guys, but when they go to a port, especially at a government port, they are like bystanders. The port is for them. So we understood this concept. They should not stand outside somebody's room. They should have their own offices in the port from where they will work, and we go to them for any kind of service which we can offer to them. With this concept in mind, we have developed 88,000 square feet of building, trade and transport terminal, where each of the customer can have his own office suite or office room or full-fledged office according to his needs. And we have created a port service center, a unique concept again. which is a port office inside the trade and transport terminal, where through email or by sending a person, they can get any kind of permission to come into the port or to go out of the port, to bring cargo into the port or to take cargo out of the port.
There is no custom time gap, there is no question of communication delay, there is no communication gaps. Ultimately, it is adding to the speediness of the clearance and speeding up of the total operations here. And that single window clearance is a key, one of the important key factors in addition to the vast land that is available with the Krishnapatnam Port.
Latest technology has been deployed in order to monitor vessels, to monitor containers remotely and for surveillance. Every aspect of the port activity has been connected with the help of technology so that the port personnel know exactly what's happening without any delay. This technology has also been extended to customers so that they can track the movement of their containers real time from anywhere in the world.
All the processes in our port are automated, so you get everything on the click of a button. We have developed a lot of software required for various types of port operations, and that's making the job easy and simpler for the customers, for the port users, for the government agencies, and for us.
A 3-tier security protection for life, cargo and property has been adopted at the port. All the 3 major entry and exit points have heavy security presence. Marine patrolling is carried out round the clock and the Coast Guard has a permanent base inside the port. The whole port is under CCTV surveillance around the clock.
The first and foremost thing which we saw in this port India is theft. So we worked very seriously and developed our own in-house security, developed a lot of things which can be detailed, so detailed that every kilogram is being delivered to him. No losses in our port. This is the only port which you see there will be no losses.
Coming up, the port's explosive growth and future expansion plans. Krishnapatnam Port is well on its way to become the largest automated port for exports and imports in South Asia. It rates high on all the parameters of operations, including optimum cost, reliability, time, and the best available service to customers. It has in place a quick response customer service cell to provide round-the-clock support and customized solutions based on the requirements of the customers. This is mainly due to the empowered and effective leadership.
Human resource is how you develop yourself as a leader, and then how you make your group heads as leaders. That is where I worked very seriously, and then I developed whatever training if I have to do to my leader under me. I always tell him that you are always alone in the battlefield. That means don't wait for somebody who's going to come and do something for you. You're alone. Only that way you can become you can do 10 months job as one manager. So and I believed in all my leaders. Common sense is the most important thing. Yes, experience also adds. Certification also adds, especially in marine section. We need to have a lot of certifications. But otherwise, the operations, it's very more of common sense.
Being proactive is synonymous with the port, and in every phase of its development, the port has created the infrastructure and then attracted business. The port laid a direct pipeline for all edible oil refineries to be located near the port, which resulted in several edible oil refineries being set up near the port. Currently, there are 7 edible oil refinery plants operating from the vicinity of the port. One such edible oil company is Imami Biotech, which is one of the largest importers of edible oil in the East Coast. The company imports edible oil and sells it in the domestic market.
Basically, our refinery is a port-based industry, and moreover, we are completely dependent on the import raw materials, which is processed at our industry. So for that, port has facilitated, and they have provided us a good 16-inch dia pipeline, and which is catering to not only for us, for all other industries also. And with that, we are able to receive cargo safely, as well as without any pilferage, and timely. None of our vessels won't get any damages.
The development of Krishnapatnam Port has not only boosted imports but also exports from the country. The setting up of the state-of-the-art container terminal attracted agro-exporters from areas near the port. One such exporter of tobacco, ILTD, the leaf tobacco arm of ITC, is now one of the largest tobacco exporters from the port.
I think we started business with Krishnapatnam Port about 3-4 years ago. You have a very, very dynamic chief executive there who's soliciting a lot of business. So we started the first year with only about 1% by volume, which is 39 TEU, or rather FEU. And that was only about 20 crores in 12-13. And 13-14 we moved to around 1,000 FEU, and currently we are at around 1,200 FEU, which is almost, I think, around 467, about 500 crores worth of business. And I would say the total business that we do, both from Chennai and from this, I think almost 46% right now is through Krishnapatnam Port.
The world too has noticed the port's rapid growth. The port has bagged many prestigious awards like Lloyd's List Global Awards 2011 as the best port operator in the world, the IHS McCloskey Coal Port Operator for 2011, and was awarded the Private Port of the Year at the Gateway Awards 2013.
We get a lot of awards. Every year we are getting awards. For example, in 2011 itself, we got the award from Lloyd's as the best port operator in the world. So that was really an honor for us. Similarly, in India and elsewhere, we continuously get awards. In the current year, we got one award for our CSR activities. At Dubai, we got the award. So like that, we work on every facet of port management and development, because of which customers, the stakeholders are respecting us, accepting our performance, and then giving us awards.
As the port nears the completion of Phase 2, the port is ready to take it to the next level of development. Plans include building 42 berths with the ability to handle 200 metric tons per annum capacity, a dedicated container terminal in 600 acres, a dedicated liquid bulk terminal, a hub port for coal, agri-commodities and fertilizers.
Currently, this year we are going to handle 41 million tons. Last year we handled 25. This is more than 61% growth. The existing capacity can go up to 80 million ton, which we foresee in the next 3 to 4 years we should touch that. So before that, we again start for our Phase 3 plans. Depending on the cargo expansion, if coal is improving further, we will add coal terminals. As the containers improve further, we will add container terminals. We are also drawing a plan to have a second edible oil pipeline. Tomorrow, if other industries come, LNG or LNG supported industries, we will develop LNG jetties, POL jetties. So we look at the country's need, country's growth pattern, country's cargo pattern, and accordingly we will develop the infrastructure.
We want to become a jewel for this country. Everywhere we should feel this, because a jewel, what I mean is the gateway for the country. So much of revenue is being generated from this gateway to the country. In terms of customs, service tax, all so many areas, railways. So once we become 200 million tons, just imagine how much revenue we will generate from this port alone.
In Krishnapatnam lies a model for private ports. It is furthering international trade by offering world-class infrastructure and has become the de facto port of call for ships from all over the world. It truly is refueling India's growth by being the largest port on the East Coast.